Okay, so on this video we're going to go through the whole mock or diagnostic for the spreadsheet. I'll miss out some of the questions that are really easy, but we will go through them anyway so that you can see which ones you need to focus on. So the first one is to create a blank workbook. You can all do that, you just go to File and New. Question 2 is asking you to save the workbook to Z. I'll show you this one anyway just so that I can point something out. If you do File and Save As and click on Z, if it's not there, click on Browse. When it's asking you to save this, don't put a space on the end like that. If you put a space on, then the computer will pick it up as wrong. So just make sure you've got no wrong capital letters, type it in correctly, press Save, and then that's that question done. Change the Excel username to Sue Davis. So in this one, we can do File, and then you're looking for Options. And then here you've got the username, which we need to change to Sue Davis. Again, don't put a space on the end, don't put the full stop, make sure you've got the correct capital letters. So zoom the weather worksheet to 95%. If you click on this percentage button here, you can put a custom percentage in, type 95, press OK. That's that one done. Where should you click to collapse the ribbon? This is the ribbon option here, so that's where you click. On the weather worksheet, enter the number 33.1 in cell C9. All you do, find cell C9, type in the number 33.1. Make sure you go into another cell so that it sets it as the answer. On the weather worksheet, change the font type of the text in A1 to Arial. You can all change font. On the weather worksheet, change the number in F12 to this. You can all now change numbers easily. Italic formatting in A2, just click on A2, click on Italic. That's that one done. On the weather worksheet, insert a new column between E and F. So what you're going to need to do, right click on F, go to Insert, and it will put a new column to the left. On the weather worksheet, copy the cell F12 to G7. So when it's saying copy, it needs to be in both places. So F12, make sure you're copying the right one. You can see these are slightly greyed, so you know you've got the right one. So right click, copy, go to G7, right click and just click on paste, and that will copy that cell. If it says move, then obviously it disappears. Oh, there we go. So on the weather worksheet, move the content of C2 to G16. So on this one, you are going to be cutting it. So click on cut up here, or right click and cut, and then you're looking for G16. So then we can paste, and that will move it from there to there. Delete the content in H13. You can all delete off a spreadsheet, I'm sure. On the weather worksheet, sort the cell range B18 to C23 by per year in descending order, largest to smallest. So to start with, you need to highlight those cells. So we're going to highlight these here. Okay, so B18, I've highlighted the wrong ones. So B18 to C23, and we're going to go to Data and click on Sort, and we want to sort it by per year in descending order. So that's from when it goes from the largest to the smallest. If you think about a plane descending, it's going from high to low. So if you're coming for your descent in a plane, that's when you're landing. So you're going from your highest to the lowest point, so largest to smallest. Press OK, and that's that one done. On the weather worksheet, apply the thousands separator format to the cells C19 to C23. So you need to highlight C19 to C23. And then all you're going to do is click on this button here, which is a format with 1000 separator. Click on that, and it just slightly adjusts your data. So on the weather worksheet, use the autofill tool to finish the incomplete list. Now you've got to use autofill, you can't just type it in. So if you highlight these two, use this little box in the corner here, you'll get a different cursor. Look, if you drag that down, it will automatically put the numbers in. On the weather worksheet, use the appropriate command to find all occurrences of the word Moscow. Enter the number of times it occurs in B26. So you're looking for find. So if you go to here, find and select, and click on find, or you can do Control and F. We're looking for the word Moscow. Click on find all. Tells us that there are 9 cells found. So what we can do, close that off. In B26, we're just going to enter the number 9. Make sure you use a figure, don't write the word 9. On the weather worksheet, change the height value of row 1 to 30. So right click on row 1, go to row height, change it to 30 and press OK. And it's as simple as that. On the weather worksheet, enter a function in D25 to calculate the average value of D19 to D23. So here we need an average to find out the average of these numbers. So all formulas or functions, in this case it's a function, start with equals. Now when it says function, it means that you're going to have to type in a word. You're not just going to do a normal calculation. So equals average, and it will put the bracket in for you if you select it. If not, you need to put a bracket in. Highlight the numbers that you want to average, so D19 to D23. Close the bracket and press enter, and that's your average function. Insert a new blank worksheet. If you click this button, you get a new sheet. Move the budget worksheet to the right. It's literally just a case of dragging and dropping it to the right. So where should you click for help? On the question mark. Nice and easy. Switch to the budget worksheet. All you do is click on the budget worksheet, don't overthink it. On the budget worksheet, set row 1 so it is always visible when scrolling the worksheet. Okay, so on this one, if we click on row 1 just to be on the safe side, go to View and then Freeze Panes, and you can choose Freeze Top Row. So what that does is now when we scroll down, the top row is always visible. On the budget worksheet, merge and center A1 to F1, highlight A1 to F1, click on merge and center, and that's that done. On the budget worksheet, enter a function, so it's the one with a word, so equals and then a word, in cell C4 that counts the cells that contain numbers in C9 to E19. So we're looking for cell 4 to start with, which is here, equals count. The values that we're counting are C9, so this one, down to E12. Close the bracket and press enter, and when you use count, it only counts numbers. You can have a little double check by counting these, but that should be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the correct answer. On the budget worksheet, enter a formula. So in this time we're not going to be using words, so we're looking for E9 to start with, so that's that one here. And it's going to subtract cell C9 from D9. And you've got to get these the right way round. So we're going to do equals D9 minus C9, because we're taking C9 away from D9. Press enter. You can see that that looks correct. On the budget worksheet, apply currency formats of your choice to C9 to E12. So highlight C9 to E12. In here, just choose currency. On the budget worksheet, enter a function, so it's the one with a word, in E24. So let's find E24 to start with. So it's already selected. That rounds the number in E22, so that's this one, to 0 decimal places. So for this one we need to use the round function. So it's asking for two things. The first thing is what do you want to round and to how many decimal places. So we want to round that, and you press comma and it moves to the next bit. You see this went bold, and we're going to round it to 0 decimal places. and you can see that that's correct. It's now rounded it to 46. On the budget worksheet, left align the contents. So all you're going to be doing is D24, where is it? So here, D24 to D29, just click on the left align button. So budget worksheet, enter a function, so one with a word in E26, so this is E26 here, that displays yes if the number in E24 is greater than the number in E25. So if E24 is bigger than E25, we want it to say yes. If not, display the word no. So for this one, we're going to need to use an if. This is probably your most difficult question to do with formulas. So we have three things in an if statement. What are we checking? What happens if that's true? What if it's correct? And what if it's false? So the first thing that we're checking is E24 greater than E25? So we're going to click on E24 and do greater than E25. So if E24 is greater than E25, then, which is what I tend to say when you press the comma, because it just makes it into a sentence. So if E24 is greater than E25, then we're going to do the word yes in the cell. Make sure you put that in speech marks because it's text. If you put in a number in, you don't need the speech marks. Comma to move to the next bit. So if not, then we're going to put in the word no. Make sure you don't miss out the capital letters for yes and no, and don't forget the speech marks. And you can see that it says no because it isn't bigger than that cell. On the budget worksheet, apply a different background colour of your choice to D24 to D29. So highlight D24 to D29. This is your fill colour. Nice and easy. Enter a formula in E28 that divides E27 by E25. So E28, it's a formula, so it's not got a word in it. So it's dividing E27. Now divide is / by E25, so that is your answer. Just click on that so you can see it. So it's E27 / E25. Apply the percentage format to E29. So E29, click on percentage, nice and simple. Text wrapping to C31, highlight your cell C31 and click on wrap text. On the budget worksheet, copy only the formatting from C31. Let's click on the cell to start with. So we've got C31. Copy the formatting and apply it to B32 to B37. So you're going to click on Format Painter, highlight B32 to B37, and it copies all of that formatting across. Enter a formula in C32, so one without words. So C32 is down here. Using the multiplication sign that multiplies cell C14 by E28. So equals, you can type it in if you don't want to click on it. So equals C14 multiply, which is a star, by E28. Press enter. That's that one done. Change the formula in C32 so that the reference to cell E28 does not change if the formula is copied. So this is called absolute cell referencing. So you're going to find cell C32 to start with. Okay, so what we want it to do is, when we drag this down, if I show you what happened if we don't do it correctly, if we drag this down, if I double click on here, you can see it's 0, so something's wrong. It's now trying to times C16 by a blank cell. So what we need that to do, if I just delete these, is if we go into the formula here, click anywhere in or next to E28 and press F4 on your keyboard and you'll get these $signs put in. If you now press enter, when we drag that down, we double click on this one, you'll see that this time the cell hasn't moved, it's still set as E28. bottom double border to C21 to E21. So C21 to E21, highlight your cells first. Your borders are here, and it's double bottom. And you can see we've now got two lines. So on the budget worksheet, use the appropriate command to replace all occurrences of results with difference. So find and select and go to replace. We want to find the word result, and we want to change it to difference. Press replace all, don't forget to check your spellings. Press OK, close that off, press enter. Create a 2D clustered bar chart using cells B31 to C37. So B31 to C37, highlight those, do insert, and we need to click on bar chart, which is this one. If you hover over them, you get a bit of help, and then if you hover over them again, you can see that that is a clustered bar chart. It's 2D, excuse me, it's 2D. So click on that. Nice and simple. Change the title of the chart to reductions. All you're going to do is find the chart, click on it, and just change the title there. Make sure you don't make any spelling mistakes. Change the width of the chart to 18 centimeters. So you're going to click on the chart. You're going to go to Chart Tools and click on Format up here, and change the width of the chart to 18. So in here, type in 18 and press enter. Change the font size of the chart title to 12. It's just a case of clicking on it, highlighting the text and changing it up here to 12. Apply value data labels to all bars in the chart. The position isn't important. So click on the chart, so you click on the actual bars here. If we go to design, add chart element, we want the data labels and just put them center. We've now got the values being shown here. So that was data labels, and then just doesn't matter, pick any of those. On the budget worksheet, change the chart area background color to a solid choice of your chart without changing the style. So click on the chart, go to Format, and you can see here it's got chart area selected. Make sure that it is there, if not, change it in the drop down box. Click on Format Selection. We want a fill color, a solid fill, don't pick anything too daft, pick a color, and that's it. Change the chart to a 2D clustered column chart. So you're going to click on the chart, go to Design, go to Design, and we are going to go to Change Chart Type. I couldn't remember where to click then. Click Change Chart Type, and we're going to change it to a column. If I move this out of the way, it needed to be 2D clustered. So if you hover over that, you can see that it's a 2D one. It's underneath clustered, so we will press OK. And that's that one done. Change the colour of the chart columns to a solid colour of your choice. So make sure you've just got the columns selected. Just go to Format Selection, click on the bucket here, click on Fill, Solid Fill, and change it to a colour of your choice. Use the spell check tool to make sure the necessary changes. If you go to Review, you can click on Spelling. So updated is clearly wrong, so you press change. Cells is clearly wrong, so you press change. Amount's wrong. Actual's wrong.
They're all fairly obvious ones. Yes, we'll start at the beginning of the sheet. Everything's okay. So that's that done. Change the page orientation to landscape, page layout, orientation, landscape. Undo the last action, it's this back arrow here, but I'm sure you all know that. Sometimes it messes up like this. If you just maximise your window and then click on this, it hasn't worked. Anyway, we basically just need this question back here. So it says switch to the year workbook. Click down here, change to year, and then obviously you've got to press answer. Sometimes messes up a little bit. If it happens in the exam, let whoever's in the room, the invigilator, know, and they'll sort it out for you. So on the budget worksheet, change the right margin to 2.3 centimetres. So we're going to go to page layout, margins, custom margins, change the right one to 2.3 and press OK. So on the budget worksheet, apply the appropriate settings to fit the worksheet to 1 page wide and 2 pages tall when printed, but you don't need to print. File and print, and then you can scroll down to the bottom here and you could go to page setup. We're going to fit it to 1 page wide and 2 pages tall. Press OK. You can just go back to your sheet then and press answer. On the budget worksheet, enter the word draft to the left section of the header. So insert, header and footer. This is the left section of the header, so we're entering the word draft. No spaces, no capital letters in this one. Insert a page number field to the centre of the worksheet's footer. So insert header and footer. So what you're going to need to do is scroll down until you can see the footer. So you click to add footer. Up here you've got an extra menu that appears, and you're just going to click on page number and it will put that in at the bottom there. So on the budget worksheet, apply the appropriate setting to row 1 so that it will be shown on the top of all pages when printed, but you don't need to print it. So you're going to go to page layout and you're going to go to print titles. It's going to say rows to appear at the top. So click in that box and then just click on row 1 here. And you'll get $1, $1. Press OK, and that's that one done. So save this workbook as an Excel 97 to 2003 workbook. Don't change the file name. If a question is shown, say yes. So file, save as, into Z. We're not going to change the name, but we're going to change this drop down box to Excel 97 2003 and press save. And if we get a message, it says to say yes, which we didn't, so it's not a problem. Where should you click to show how the worksheet will appear when printed? You click on print so that then you can go to print preview. Where should you click for 5 copies? In there somewhere. Which of the 4 workbooks follows good practice for entering data into cells? So obviously this one we can't see one of the columns because there's too much space. Sorry, this one's no good because we've got Sue and Care all in one box when actually they should be split up. This is no good because we've got 3 in it, and this one's no good because we've got all 4, so it's clearly workbook A, so we can then enter values underneath for each one. Which is considered good practice when creating a list. So for this one, we need to ensure that cells bordering the list are blank. We don't want to put too much together, clump it all together. Okay. columns don't have to have the same width. Some columns will have long titles, so they need to be wider. You don't always need 2 decimal places. Some don't have to be bold. Okay, so even with just a process of elimination, you can see that it's that one there. So which is good practice when naming worksheets? Short as possible, not necessarily, because sometimes you won't be able to understand them. Should use the Excel username? No. Name should be in capitals? No, it would be shouting. Worksheet name should be meaningful, so it's the sensible one. So then for the next one, so question 36, which is considered good practice when making formulas. So use different font colours to separate values. No, so the equals character should be entered as the last character, or it's always the first character. So reference to cells rather than numbers should be used, so it's going to be that one. The operator star to calculate more accurately, it depends on the formula. So with this one, if you're doing a formula and you say equals 3 plus 5, it's always going to be that. But if you say equals cell A1 plus A2, if you change what's in A1 and A2, then it will automatically update. So that's why that's the correct answer. So there's a formula in C4 that contains a reference to a cell, which is C2. What error message will be displayed in C4 if the selected cells, which includes C2, are deleted? So the clue's in the title here, so it's saying we're trying to reference C2, but it's not there, so you're going to get the reference error. It's going to say it's not there anymore. Okay, so if the clue's kind of in the title there. And that is everything. So if you don't pass after this, then again, I don't know what to do with you.